Welcome to our coverage of the 2026 eight-player All-Star Game. We visit with the South All-Stars head coach, Ev Wick. Coach, thanks for spending the time. Let's just talk about getting to know these guys. We take players from a large part of the state and we put them all on your team. And your job as a coach is probably to get to know these guys a little bit. And so just tell us what that process is like for you and them to know each other and just come together as a team in a short amount of time.
Yeah, so when we're selecting the team, kids need to be nominated, and we kind of spread it out throughout the state of who we're going to maybe look at. Well, when you look at the South isn't really the South. It's based on conferences because we go from DeSoto all the way to Sebastopol. And then as far north as like Marion and Bancroft and all that. So, it stretches out a long radius, but we kind of rely on the other coaches' suggestions, looking at film. Getting to know the guys is some of them we compete against. So some of the kids on our team are from our conference. But then, with 8-man being the way it is, we've seen film on quite a few of those guys as well. The process is pretty, unique on how everything just falls into place. Kids do a great job hanging out throughout the week and getting to know each other and make sure nobody's sitting there by themselves, just the way they room and kind of put them by position. And, it's just kind of cool how it all, as DeSoto, we're the farthest actually away from Oshkosh with the team. We're about 3.5 hours from Oshkosh. And, it's kind of odd that we're the farthest away and we're the ones, in charge of the team this year. So it's just been a great experience.
When you say Marion is south, it's the same thing as saying north of Wisconsin Dells is up north. We know right away you're not from Wisconsin if that's what you're really talking about.
Correct.
It's a fun week. I want to talk to you about those fun activities. But first, how do you and the coaches go about putting together a game plan? Obviously, these are all-stars. These are smart football players. But how do you go about putting together a game plan in a short amount of time that the guys can execute come kickoff?
So we kind of put a plan together what we wanted to do coming into the week. And the guys we've talked to that have done in the past, I asked some former coaches for their practice plans and how much is too much, what's not. But, after the first day, like they absorb a lot. You got the best of the best. So we're not, having to coach a freshman 6 times on how to do one play. They show them one time, they got it. So you really can move along and put things in, and our kids have just absorbed everything we've kind of thrown at them, and we've tried to make it as easy as possible too. You're getting some teams that don't throw the ball, more than 2 or 3 times a game. And then you got some that haven't taken a snap under center. So you got a wide variety of kids, but the one thing that's kind of common, like, oh, we do this, but we just call this, so just basically a lot of terminology that you got to kind of get on the same page. And then just relying on the coaches too. My D coordinator from DeSoto ended up coming with, and he's paired up with one of the players' dads too from another conference. So he kind of knows the strengths of the kids on that side of the ball. And then, we have the offensive side too. We just kind of work together to try to do what we can.
Tell us about the off time. It's a fun experience for the guys. They get to bond and meet new kids and meet maybe new friends for life. What is their off time? What are some of the fun activities they've got to do all week?
I mean, due to some air conditioning things, some of those have been kind of just adjusted. But the pool's open. We got them in the weight room, the rec center. Even they just like hanging out in the rooms. As weird as that sounds, it's AC. So they're sitting there, they're, some playing video games on the downtime. A lot of them are taking naps, which is great with the heat and just getting out of that. But, they're just being around each other after practice. They'll go walk down the street, get something to eat together. It's just those little things that are, a lot of these guys from the same conferences kind of know each other. And then the guys that are rooming with them, they kind of draw each other in. So it's, you kind of see them walking down the street and there's not just 1 or 2 of them. There's always, 6 to 10 of them. So it's a good experience. They've done a really good job.
Kickoff coming up at 6 o'clock. Let's talk about some of the names we're going to get to hear during the game. Let's start on the offensive side. Tell us about your quarterback and what we should expect to see offensively from your squad.
Yeah, so our quarterback is Logan Shu out of Sebastopol. he's done a really, really good job. There's a lot of stuff that we do quarterback wise with our offense, and same thing. He goes, well, yeah, I've done this. It's just called this. So I just need to know, so he's a dual threat kid. We'll rely on him on the offensive line, kind of led by Lincoln Lobbs out of Oakfield. He's a 2-time All-State kid, moves extremely well. It's been a leader for that crew up front there.
On the defensive side, you're looking for a game wrecker. Who are we going to lean on the defensive side?
Yeah, we have a couple of a good defensive linemen there. We had Gavin Tamley out of North Crawford. He's had a good week. Evan Monfrey out of Green Bay NEW. Those two guys. Then we have some back half guys that can play too. Get the state 100 meter winner out of Rosholt on our team, and somebody gets by him, he can recover in a hurry. So it's fun to, we got, like what I told the kids, early in the week, like, it's fun for a coach too. We got the best toys in the toy box. We have access to what we need. It's awesome.
Last handful of years, the North has kind of run that football field. How do your guys turn it around after kickoff?
They are aware of that. They bring it up. They're like, we want to be the ones that try to fix that. And, they're working like they want to. And, it's just a good thing. There's a lot of self-motivation in a game like this too, because they do take it hard. And a lot of these guys, that's their last chance to put the pads on too. So not many teams can not many guys get the chance to end their career with a win, unless you're winning a state title or you're really bad and don't make the playoffs, you win your last game. So there's not much of an in-between there, and a lot of these guys have been in successful programs.
Lastly, let's talk about the other thing that's going on besides the football game. We're raising money for the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. Just remind the audience what that means and what your players have had going on in order to help the Children's Hospital of Wisconsin.
Right. All our players, every level of the All-Star games, from 8 to the large, their player minimum is $750. All of our kids, I believe we were the only team that all of our kids did that. Some team told us they're higher, but all of our kids raised that, and then goes all directly to Children's Wisconsin. The kids get to hear a story from one of the families that have benefited from their fundraising efforts, and it's an impactful event for them too, so they can meet and see what kind of impact they've had, throughout there. And it's been a long process to get to this week, with the fundraising and, the practices and things like that go on. And, it's also good for them to realize one last time why they're here.
And of course, those of you watching at home, you can help the cause as well. Donate at Children's Hospital of Wisconsin. South All-Stars head coach Ev Wick, good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Coaches teach your kids to dream. Coaches teach your kids to overcome. Coaches teach your kids good sportsmanship. Coaches teach your kids proper technique. But who teaches your coaches?
It's so easy to place students in boxes, tell them they can only be one thing, drawing lines and creating sides. There's us and there's them, athletes versus the rest. An identity associated with a sport, player first, person second.
I play basketball.
I run cross country.
I run cross country.
I run cross country, track, and play basketball.
I run track.
I play soccer, hockey, and baseball.
I play tennis.
I play football and I run track.
I play soccer, but I'm more.
I'm the manager of the school store.
I'm an FBLA finalist.
I'm a certified nursing assistant.
I'm a livestock judge. I'm student council president.
I work with Special Olympics.
I'm one of the leads in the fall musical.
I'm a part of Big Brothers Big Sisters.
I compete with the WIHA.
I'm more than an athlete.
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 Pregame coverage continues here on Zaleski Sports. Kickoff of the 2026 8-player All-Star Game coming up at 6 o'clock. And we are here with the North All-Star head football coach, Todd Roehl. Coach, let's just talk about being the head coach. Tell me about the selection process and what this nomination has meant for you as a football coach.
It was really special. Doug Sarver called me up, and, when he asked me, I was completely blown away. I asked him, in that moment, I just said, well, can I just know who else was on the list? Because I'm going to have to pick my assistants. And when he started naming them off, I was like, I was just completely blown away, humbled, and just honored. I coached in this game last year as an assistant with an amazing coaching staff, and I saw the amount of effort that was put into it by Coach Rosemeyer. And I just, a little nervous, a little scared at first, but then I knew what this game was about. I knew what the level of it takes, and I just thought, okay, let's give her a run, put the great staff together, and let's go. And just completely humbled and honored to be a part of this whole week. So it's been great.
One of the challenges for a football coach in this scenario is you've got a handful of practices, and then we got game coming up tonight. So what was your strategy coming in to get everybody on the same page, get the plays installed, get all the routine done, and get this team ready to play?
Yeah, it started with the staff. We brought an unbelievable staff together. My first phone call was to Ryan Karsten. He was the AD at Siren High School. This is his last 8-man hurrah. He's going to Menominee. He's going to be coaching 11-man there, and just having him run the defense. And then my second call was Coach Precor, who I've coached against many times from Phillips, and just having them put together their game plan. And then I knew when I saw the two nominations of Coach Frafjord, Aaron Frafjord of Flambeau, and Brett Ludasher, and both of Flambeau, the caliber of coaches they've been in my previous, coaching with them. I knew by putting them together, letting them do what they do, they had a game plan coming in. And we knew that there was going to be a little rocks and boulders to kind of keep pushing uphill and dodging with the offense a little bit with some terminology, just because the offense is a little different. But, being able to run Siren's defense, being able to run Phillips' offense, a little bit single wing, and then a little bit of what we run is our spread combination. It was just, how do we make it work? How do we make it simple? How do we get these kids to get it caught on by, yesterday? Yesterday's kind of our goal. Like, hey, Thursday, let's just be clicking and be on, and then clean it up Friday morning. And this, our way over here, feel confident so we come out and do what we do.
You've got a team of all-stars, so these are the best of the best from your region that you're coaching from. What were the challenges, though? You mentioned, getting them ready. What were some of the challenges, and how do they help you make it easy, being the caliber of players that they are?
I'll tell you, it's amazing how a lot of these teams, because they play against each other, they know who each other were. I mean, we brought them together on Monday, and I just said, hey, listen, you're the 22 best in northern Wisconsin. We know you can play football. We know that you got to play football. We're going to work together. We do a lot of team bonding things throughout this past week. And, we took them, like I said, the other night, we went to hibachi. We had some things kind of get, and it just to see these kids that have never seen those things and experience some new experiences, things like that. But the biggest challenge is just terminology. Our terminology is different than that terminology, this terminology. And I'll be really honest, I knew that there were some teams that maybe don't like each other. You had Gilman and, I've got kids from Gilman and McDonald and Flambeau. I was rooming them together. I wanted them to understand, you guys were, at one time, enemies maybe, but now, hey, we're together. We're the North. Let's come together this week. Let's figure out, get past all that other stuff, move forward, and let's play some football. So they've done a great job. Our staff's done a great job just getting them to bond and do some great things together. So it's been fun.
Let's talk about the offensive side of the ball here as we begin to get ready for kickoff coming up at 6 o'clock. Tell us about who you're leaning on the offensive side of the ball.
Well, I think it all starts behind big number 70, Mason Bussey. He's all-state offensive lineman. And, he's got to set the pace for us running the ball. And We got, two of the top 2 running backs this past year in the state, and Cole Schley from Flambeau, and then the 8-man player of the year, Dawson Moulton from Chippewa Falls McDonald. Getting them comfortable to get to what they've done all year long. Run the ball hard, make some plays, and go and do what they do. And the other guy we're looking at a lot is Dane Mumm out of Clayton. Dane's done some great things all week. We've been moving him all around just to try to get his athleticism exposed and do some great things there. Defensively, was that just offensively or just the?
No, go ahead. I mean, defense wins championships, Coach, and they've been a big factor. Yeah,
absolutely. So defensively, it's really hard to just point one guy out. We got guys all week just been flying around, making plays, making our jobs not real fun offense on the offensive side, but. You got Anthony Surichek from Gilman, sets the tone and just about everything he does. Just intelligent young man and just flies around, makes a lot of plays, does a lot of great things. Chance Ludasher from Flambeau has just had a really good week, doing some great things out there. And we just haven't been able to do a lot of the things we want to do because he's kind of always making a play during practice. And then Eli Stepp, those 3 guys. In the defensive backfield, and Eli being from Chippewa Falls McDonald, just 3 guys that, Eli's all over the field. And he'll tell you, I'll be all over the field. He's going to make every play. He's going 100 miles an hour, and he's got one gear. And then just up front, we got 2 really good defensive ends from Frederick. Freddie Nelson and Bartlett from Brian Bartlett from Frederick. They've been a problem for us this week, so we're going to hope they're going to be a problem for the South. And I tell you what, there's a reason why Frederick was where they were, and there are 2 big reasons for that. So those are kind of the guys we're looking at are going to have a big game. But the thing I love about this All-Star game is somebody shows up that you just didn't expect was going to just do some amazing things. And here we are, because they're all All-Stars, and that's the fun part about this week. So.
Coach, you mentioned problems. I talked to your counterpart in red, Coach Wick, just a few moments ago. One of the problems for the guys in red is the guys in blue have won the last 4 years. Do you and the guys talk about that? Obviously you want to win the game, but do you talk about, I suppose, the reputation that's been going on the blue side?
Sure. We spent about 30 seconds just kind of mentioning it on Monday, like, hey, there's a tradition here, and there's alumni that played in this game that want us to continue that run, and but we have to do what we got to do. So our biggest focus has just been on, let's get it out of the way, and then we're done talking about it. We'll figure it out on Friday and by how we play. Just talk to the guys about, we got to control our controllables. We can't control the streak. We can't control, all those other things, just attitude, effort, and energy. Let's go full bore, and I think good things will happen for the North.
Yeah, and it'd be one thing if it was the same team every year, but this is a different team last year, a different team this year. So that's kind of where the streak is a little invalid, though, in that same way. Coach, I just go ahead. Yep, go ahead.
Oh, and I'll tell you right now, Coach Wick over there, he's got a heck of a South team this year. This is one of the better South teams I've seen, and we've had some great South teams, but you look over on that side of the ball, and it's all Stater, and I'm going, we're in for a good slobber knocker here on Friday, and I'm like, so tonight's going to be fun, going to be an enjoyable game.
I like that, folks. Coach Todd Roehl giving us some coach speak right away, too. A little Bill Belichick creeping out. I want to wrap up with this. One of the main reasons, if not the main reason that we're here, is we are fundraising for Children's Hospital. Just remind the folks at home that maybe don't know about this, what your kids have been doing to raise money for this event.
Yeah, so every athlete and coach was asked to raise $750 for this for Children's Hospital of Wisconsin, and we've been doing that since about April. And our goal for the 8-man North here was $40,000. Our team actually had 3 of the top 20 sellers out of the 200 and some sellers in the state that were in. And we ended up raising we actually succeeded that goal, went over $40,000. And that will go towards all the children's. We actually had, Dane Mumm was one of the top 10 sellers of the whole All-Star from Clayton. And he just, we're talking about North. We're talking Clayton, Wisconsin. We're talking Rusk County, talking Price County, Sawyer County, and these counties aren't the most lucrative counties in the. But I'll tell you what, carrying people up here in the north, carrying people out in the south, east and west of Wisconsin, that's what makes Wisconsin special. And that's been our message all week. These kids, this is more than a football game. Our kids met yesterday with a family from Children's, and it's just like I think they finally got it. Like there's just more to football, and football will eventually end, and life's going to come, and there's people, and it was just kind of neat to see some kids kind of get emotional and understand that we're here to win a football game, but man, am I lucky I get to play football, and that's what I love about this game, and there's so many life lessons taught, and this week I've seen these guys just grow like that, and it's just been fun to watch, and just a special week for not only for football but for the state of Wisconsin, the WFCA, and 8-man. So.
Coach, thanks to you and the players and all the rest of the guys for helping out. Folks at home can find out more and donate yourself at Children's Hospital online. Coach, we got kickoff coming up. Good luck tonight.
All right. Thank you very much. Go North.
Kickoff coming up next with Mike Wendland on the call. I will be back with you at halftime with Travis Wilson. Enjoy the game, everybody.
Fleet Farm has everything you need for every season of life. From tending the vegetable garden season to planting 100 acres of crops season. Fleet Farm is your one-stop shop. Whether it's strawberry jam season, cook your walleye season, or his first set of wheels season. Fleet Farm is built for every season. Fleet Farm, built for real life.
Beer battered cheese curds now at Nasonville Dairy. Get them before they're gone in Marshfield at Weber's Farm Store, Curtis, and at the Nasonville Worldwide headquarters on Highway 10, just west of Marshfield. Master cheesemaker Ken Hyman, tell us more about beer battered curds.
We've been acknowledged as having some of the best curd in the nation and in the world. We actually finished first in the world last year, world competition. So here we are, and we always compete well with other people. So now it's the idea of making a beer batter that could be the best in the world.